guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, I'm Courtney Ann. So today's video is going to be a little favorites from February, and also like a little reading wrap up. But I mean, I also want to talk about movies and TV shows that I watched this month. And real quick, look what my friends did for me. They're both in floral. Like, it's so beautiful. They're actually so good at that class, but like, I'll never get over this. Like, I'm trying to include this as many vlogs as I can so I never forget it, because this is so pretty. And like, they took the time to make it for me. Like, I love it. Anywho, it's so pretty. But yeah, so today's video is going to be a little reading wrap up and a little like just monthly favorites from this month, I would say. I mean, there haven't been like too many different things. Like, I feel like it's a short month. So first of all, I have become the most annoying person this month because my favorite show, The Good Place, is on Disney Plus. If you have Hulu, you can watch it, and if you have the Hulu Disney Plus thing, you can watch it on Disney Plus. I already think about it like once a day, but now I've been talking about it multiple times a day, and my friends, I think, are a little fed up with me. I convinced a few friends to watch it. I'm close to convincing my driving instructor to watching it, and I almost convinced my history teacher to watch it. Like, I become the most annoying person that should go for. Like, you could tell me, like, the biggest news. Okay, like, actually the most insane thing happened, and I'd be like, yeah, high five. You told me you're watching The Good Place? Oh my gosh, I won't shut up. I'll be the happiest person alive. Like, you will never see me happier than when you say you're gonna watch The Good Place. Like, but anyway, because I had my friend, or we're talking about it at lunch, and they're like, you know, you're, like, starting to convince me, and I was like, and they're like, you made me regret saying that, because I literally would not shut up for the next, like, few minutes. And then I did start watching Smallville. I've barely watched it. It's on Disney Plus right now if anyone else is interested in watching it. I don't know if that's with the Hulu thing or how it works. But Smallville should be on there. Maybe it's Hulu, maybe it's not, but I'm watching it over on Disney Plus. It's pretty good. I love superhero stuff. I'm a superhero nerd. So like, I'm enjoying it for that. I feel like he's not like, I didn't realize that like he wasn't Superman, I guess, until like the 10th season. So yeah, also I'm more of a Marvel than DC girl, as you can tell with my Spider-Man Lego and my Spider-Man hat and my X-Men comics. But like, I do really want to get into DC. I'm really, really interested in reading the Bat Family comics. Like, but like, I don't even fully think I could talk in depth about X-Men yet. And I've only been reading comics for like a year and a half maybe now. And even X-Men I didn't get into until last summer, so like it hasn't even been a year. So, like, it's more of a recent interest in comics, I would say. Like, I mean, once it's still been a year. That's pretty good. But, like, at the same time, it's not... Anywho. Was it? Oh, yes, Smallville. So, I've barely watched it, but I am liking it. Oh, songs. There was this one really good edit at the beginning of the month that I saw to Rock Me by One Direction. Was obsessed with it. Showed all my friends. Made sure that they were obsessed with it. And I listened to Rock Me on repeat for a while. Recently, I've been listening to, like... I don't want to say divorced dad music, but like the same music that my parents would like to listen to. Like, it's a lot of Red Hot Chili Peppers. And then there's some other ones. Like, I love Steve Lacy. I mentioned that in my other vlog. I was listening to Steve Lacy earlier. Like, I don't trust you if you don't listen to Steve Lacy, because Steve Lacy, guys. And Steve Lacy we trust. Who else? There's, Baby Doll was on repeat this month. Same with Borderline, because I'm currently reading Project Hail Mary, and I don't know, but Borderline gives me like very space vibes in a way. So... yeah, I listened to that too. Okay, and then additionally, most of those like I'd already listened to before. I just listened to them to the extreme this month. But I thought it's a really good edit to, where is it? Knuckle Velvet. Of like a Maya Dyer edit, which was one of the books that I read this month. That whole series, which is really good. I'm gonna talk about it in a second. But and I don't know, that song, like, it just fit really well, so I was listening to that a little bit, and I had never heard it before, so I was introduced to it. But anyhow, those were my songs and TV shows. I actually didn't watch a lot of movies. I mean, I always am watching Disney movies, you can count on that, but like, I didn't really watch anything new. I was pretty basic this month. Okay, so technically, in book-wise, I only read 10 books this month. Last month I read 12, so that's my goal. I still have today, though, so maybe I can finish Project Hail Mary. We'll see. It's unlikely. But I did just get, where is it? Tuesdays of Maury. I was thinking, I can only read Mitch Albom's book in a day. I want to read every single book this man has written. I've talked about before. I would read his grocery list, if you let me. But this is Tuesdays of Maury. I just actually got this like a few minutes ago. for like $3 or $2 actually. So excited. Anywho, so I read another one of his books this month. But anywho, but like I read longer books this month. Like these are all, I think one of these is 500, two of them are 400 maybe. Obviously these Violent Delights is a little thicker. Whereas if you look at the books that I read in January, there's one really long one, but I had started it before, and a lot of them were ones like I had either like kind of postponed, like I got like halfway into them and then I postponed it, so I only had to read the other half, or they were really fast paced or they were much shorter. So in my defense, but I still want to try to read 12 books every month this year, even though I put my goal on Goodreads as one book, which I already passed. Anywho, but getting into all the books I read, I'm going to try to do these in the order that I remember reading them, but we'll do our best. I read a lot of different genres this month. Ended up reading a lot of fantasy and literary fiction, I would say. I read one memoir, but we'll get into it. Okay, first book I read was One Italian Summer. I think I'm not gonna lie, I was not a fan of this book. It wasn't for me. It's this daughter who has a really, really great relationship with her mom. Her and her mom are like best friends, like the most important people in each other's lives. And unfortunately, her mother passes away. And they had this whole trip planned to Italy, and it wasn't like unexpected. Her mom had been sick for a while, and during that time, like, well, when you get healthy, we'll go on like this trip to Italy. They had it all planned out. It was the same trip that her mom had taken when she was younger, that now like wants to show her daughter all these cool places that she went to when she was young. And so she decides, after her mom dies, she decides to take that trip on her own, and like while she's like kind of dealing with her grief, and ends up seeing her mother when her mother's like 30, I want to say, or something. It's like her mother years ago, and like kind of knows her mother as who her mother was before she was her mother, I guess, which is a really interesting concept. I was really excited for this book, actually. And I think the descriptions in here, I love the descriptions, and these are actually, there's a lot of places in here that are real places that make me really want to go to Italy. For that reason, I would recommend it, but at the same time, I found this book to be very slow for such a short book. It didn't really keep me too interested. I didn't think the characters were that likable either. So it's probably my least favorite book I've read this month of the 10. But at the same time, I will forever say the descriptions in here are incredible. They're beautiful, beautiful descriptions. After that, I read my first Mitch Albom book, which was The Stranger in the Lifeboat. I finished this in a day. Guys, not to mention, I actually love the way this book looks. Like, can you see that? Where, like, I love it. But anywho, so this is basically about this boat goes down, and these people like get onto a lifeboat, obviously, to survive. And while they're on there, they see this man floating in the water who they pick up out of the water who claims to be God. And it's like this whole journey. It's actually separated, so there's some that are like this guy is writing diary entries or like a journal to like this love who's back home on land. And then there's also flashbacks to the future of this police detective who finds a lifeboat on land. So it's really interesting to see like both of those perspectives. And I really, really enjoyed this book. Very thought-provoking. Like, I'm trying so hard not to spoil anything, but this book is actually very fascinating. So I finished it in a day. I thought it was incredible. Also, it's very, I would say, much more on the literary fiction side. So, like, or, like, I guess, I don't know. Like, if that's not your thing, I wouldn't recommend it. But, like, I love this book. Okay, then after that, I read Tom Lake by Anne Patchett, who I've been told is the queen of literature. My bookmark is still in here. I have my little, it's like at the end of the book, my little Chinese Panda Express fortune cookie. Anywho, then I had Tom Lake by Anne Patchett. This one I actually think I read over around like Super Bowl Sunday. I have a few thoughts. I did like it. I think it's a little hard to get into at first. One thing, this is another one where I think the descriptions are really beautiful. It was just hard when I first started reading it because normally, so real quick, so you know what it's about. It's this mother, it's actually based, I'm pretty sure, during the pandemic, if I remember correctly, and she lives on this cherry farm, which, of course, the setting is beautiful, oh my gosh. And her daughters are home, I think she has 3 daughters, if I remember correctly, and she basically, they had known they're, like, since they were young, that, like, when she was younger, before she had kids, she spent this summer at, like, this theater camp and fell in love, or, like, had, like, a little summer romance with this guy who is now, like, this, like, really famous actor. So while they're there, they're, like, asking her questions, and she basically tells them the story of, like, how she fell in love, or, like, you know, like, her little summer that she spent with this guy who was really famous. The only thing is, it doesn't tell you, really, when it goes, so normally, when you're reading a book, like, I'm currently reading Project Hail Mary, right? In this, he's in space, so it will jump back to him being in space and him on Earth, since it's like the amnesia trope. He doesn't have any memories, so it goes back to like those like little memories, right? In a lot of books, like when they do that, they either separate by chapters. There'll be like a little like 9 years before thing, 9 years later, or like there will be like a little like they'll kind of space it out by paragraphs. Maybe I just don't remember it, but I don't think that there was really anything to tell you when it went back and forth. Like, even the, like, I mean, like, they're separated by paragraphs, but, like, where's an example in here? I'm gonna try to find, like, a way that I won't spoil it. Like, pretty sure this is it. Here, I'm pretty sure. Like, see how, like, there's, like, that little space there that, like, you can kind of tell? And, like, sometimes based on that, then you see the characters and you recognize them, and, like, you can tell that he's on Earth. They're, like, there's two very distinct settings in that book. This one, I found it, when I first started reading it, it was very difficult, I think, to tell, like, when we were in present time versus when we were in the past. Eventually, obviously, you get to know the characters, and you're able to tell, oh, this person lives in the future, obviously we're in the future, this person's in the past, we're obviously in the past. When I first got those first 40 pages, I did not remember at all. I was so confused. So I ended up doing the audiobook, which is audio narrated by Meryl Streep, and that saved this book for me. I think the audiobook was much better than, like, physically reading it, at least from my experience, and it made it a lot easier to distinct when we were in the past and present, and I reread those 40 pages on audiobook, and it was much easier for me. I really did like this one, but I don't see myself reading a lot of Ann Patchett in the future, and I felt like the book itself was difficult to read, but the audiobook made it really enjoyable. Okay, then after that one, I read The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls, which was, this is a memoir about Jeanette's childhood, kind of growing up in a more, like, poverty, basically, with parents who kind of had the opportunity to get out of that life, but kept choosing not to. Her dad was an alcoholic, so a lot of money that they did get, you know, spending, and as they were kids, they were kind of told, like, oh, like, it's an adventure, and then she kind of got older and began to realize, like, that's not what was going on, and I really thought it was so beautiful how her and her siblings took care of each other. There's a movie for this, actually, with Woody Harrison, I want to say. He plays Haymitch in The Hunger Games. I love that actor so much. But yeah, this is The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. I thought this was really good. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it took me a little bit to get through, but I really like this book. It follows through, like, her entire childhood from almost beginning to end, and just, like, the way that it shows the siblings caring for each other is so beautiful. They are all so strong. This is an incredible story. I can't recommend it enough. I like memoirs in general, but this is definitely, like, a favorite now, I think, for as far as the memoirs that I have read. I forget if it was actually before or after that, but anywho, I then read These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. I want to say this is actually a duology. I'm currently a little bit in the second book. I don't know, I wasn't in the mood for fantasy after all of the more paranormal fantasy stuff that I read, and I've been wanting to read Project Hail Mary for a while, so I finally got around to it. Anywho, this is a Romeo and Juliet retelling set in 1926 Shanghai. I thought this was actually really good. I just recommended it to my friend. I will say once it's a little lengthier, but, like, what fantasy book isn't? I don't really know how to talk about it too much without spoiling it, but I really like this one. I think the setting for this as a whole was really interesting. It's kind of like that forced proximity, like, they have to work together type thing. I mean, the characters weren't, like, crazy well written, but they were enjoyable, likable characters. I would recommend it. I think it has, like, a really interesting plot, and it's really, I'm pretty sure this is actually one of her debut or debate novel. I forget how you say it. Novels, I think. This is, like, one of her first ones. Like, this was really good for her first novel, as far as I know. I could be wrong. But, I'm pretty sure there's also a spin-off series. Once again, I haven't read the second one yet, so that will probably, like, solidify, but I give this 4 stars. I really like this. Then after that, I wanted a little bit of a shorter read. Especially since I was so used to it from the previous months. I read The Shadows Between Us. I actually have this beautiful copy from Half Price Books. Look at this. Built-in bookmark. Okay, sprayed edges. Not to mention. Okay, give me a second. There we go. Oh, okay, it's gonna fall back down. Look at this. I can't. This book is so beautiful. Anywho. But this is basically this girl who plans to kind of, like, seduce the king, marry him, and then kill him, and, like, her, like, trying to go through that plan. Was it the best book ever? No. But it was fast-paced, short, easy read, and really fun. I really liked it. Once again, not, like, the best book ever. Like, I'm not crazy about it, but, like, it was good. I liked it. I would recommend it. I really enjoyed it. I don't have like too much. Once again, like it wasn't super special to me. Like it's not like the same way that like there's some books where I've been thinking about rereading The Infernal Devices Once Upon a Broken Heart because I literally cannot get them off my mind recently. I don't know what it is. I want to reread them so badly, whereas like I don't feel that way about this one. But like I do really like it. Like I thought this was actually really good. The characters were interesting. They were fun to follow. Yeah, like there's not much to say about it. It was a good book. I'd recommend it. It's an easy, fast-paced read. Okay, then after that, I just read the Maya Dyer trilogy. So this consists of The Unbecoming of Maya Dyer, The Evolution of Maya Dyer, yep, and The Retribution of Maya Dyer. So these are obviously, once again, lengthier books. And I actually want to do a whole like little book review video just on these specifically so I can go more in depth on them. But a lot of people have said, the reason that I read these actually was because a lot of people said it was very similar to Shatter Me, which is an incredible series. And I feel like once you get to the third book, you can see that a lot more. I think they are. Once again, maybe not like exactly, but I do think if you like Shatter Me, these are something that will like give you that same feeling and love again. The characters in here were really funny. I really like the male love interest. That was a really good one. The main character, one thing that's so cool about these books, I will say, don't be wrong, I've always have to like clarify. These are very YA. Okay, I see some like bad reviews on them because they are very YA. And that's understandable. I agree. Like, there's some times where you can, like, see it and be like, I'm too old for this. But I am in no way too old for this. I was eating these up. Okay, these are also ones I would consider pretty fast-paced. I think I read the last book in a day, actually. But, so basically, main character Maya Dyer, which I'm pretty sure I'm saying her name right. I'm so sorry if I'm not. Anywho, she gets into this really big accident where her boyfriend and her two best friends pass away. And she miraculously survives. This, like, building collapses on them. Crazy. And after that event, her family moves to Florida, I want to say, because of all the backlash after that event, and weird things start happening to her. Like, she can kind of, like, figures out she can, like, will things to happen in a weird way. And it's a very, like, paranormal story. It's very interesting. And I think the author did a very good job of writing, like, a very unreliable narrator, where there's generally parts, like, you're wondering if she's crazy, if she said, like, what is going on, and it has you questioning, like, literally everything in this book, what's real, what's not, and that was so interesting to read. Like, she did such a good job, I would say, of, like, writing that perspective, and it's why I would recommend these. So, anywho, those were all the books I read this month. Thank you guys for watching. I'm glad that this is, like, a little shorter video, since I'm also filming a longer vlog right now, so I can edit this a little quicker. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next vlog. Bye!